Planning Commission, and we'll
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Suzanne, would you please call the roll?
Chair Harris,
Here.
Vice Chair Morrell, Mr. Pereira,
Here.
Mayor Brown,
Present.
Councilman Carter,
Present.
Mr. Strather,
Present.
Mr. Thompson.
Present.
Mr. Chairman, you have a quorum.
All right, thank you. Do we have minutes, Mr. Secretary, for November the 4th and November 18th?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I have minutes dated November 4th, Planning Commission work session meeting, and November 18th, regular agenda meeting, and I submit that we approve them without changes.
Yes, second.
I've got a motion and a second to approve the minutes with no changes. Any discussion? Anybody have any changes? All right, seeing none, we'll call for the vote. All those in favor of approval say aye. Aye. Any opposed say no. All right, passes unanimously.
Who was the second?
Me.
Albert. Next on tonight's agenda is public comment on agenda-related items. If there's anyone in the audience that wishes to comment on something on tonight's agenda, this is the time to do so. I will note item 11, which is the crossings at Hidden Creek, does have its own public comment individually. So if you have a comment about that, it may be best to hold it for that particular item. But with that, I'll open public comment on the agenda-related items and just ask that you come forward. All right, seeing no one wishing to speak, I'll close the public comment, and we will move into the consent agenda. Tonight, we have 7 items on the consent agenda. Is there anybody on staff or the commission that wants to remove an item and place it on the regular agenda?
Please note that item 4 was deferred before this meeting.
Okay, so just make that note. Item 4 was deferred. So, okay, well, seeing none, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda. However, I am, hold on, just making sure. I'm going to recuse myself of items 6 and 7 just for a personal interest. Well, that's my motion. All right, in a second by Mr. Thompson.
I'll recuse myself on items 6 and 7.
All right, with that, call for the vote on the consent items. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? No. Okay. Motion carries. So that's going to take us to item 8 on the agenda, which is Resolution 2024-157, 1445 Southwater Avenue, accessory building.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Jim Carpenter, staff planner. The owner and applicant request approval of a 3,000 square foot detached accessory structure with alternative architecture on a 3.5 plus or minus acre parcel, zone MUG mixed use general zone district located at 1445 Southwater Avenue. We talked about this at work session. They came back and did a little bit of work on the architecture facing South Water and added some windows. But staff still has to recommend denial of resolution number 2024-157.
Hey, Jim, do we have a representative for the applicant? Please come forward. Any questions? Anything you want to add?
I do not have any questions at this
Okay.
time.
Can you just state your name and address for the record, just for the minutes?
My name is Constance Inman. This is my dad, the owner, Kenneth Leitner, and 1445 South Water
Okay.
Avenue.
Thank you. Anybody have any questions? I think the architecture, it definitely looks better, so. And I think we talked about this at the work session. The way this sits from an elevation wise, I don't have any problems with it.
This is one that's below.
Yeah, it sits below the grade on 109.
Just one question. From the renderings, it appears that you're using a red metal building. Is that correct?
Yes.
What color is the roof?
The roof is black or dark gray, charcoal gray, black.
But not just tin, yeah, or not gray, silver, whatever. All right, thank you.
Uh-huh.
I got a motion for approval,
Second.
and second by Councilman Carter. Any other discussion or questions? Okay, all those in favor of approval with the staff's, just has one condition of approval in there, but all those in favor say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? No? Passes, thank you.
Very much.
All right.
Who was the motion? You made the motion?
Yeah. Second by Mr. Carter. So I'll try to state that. Item 9 is Resolution 2024-155, 225 St. Blaise Court accessory building.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The owner and applicant requests approval of a site plan with alternative architecture for a 2,880 square foot detached accessory structure barn at 225 St. Blaise Court, zoned a agricultural residential zone district. Like we talked about at the work session, agricultural residential allows for primary accessory structures, so accessory structures that are in front of the primary structure as long as they meet all other setbacks, which this does. And with that, staff recommends denial of resolution number 2024-155.
Thank you, Jim. Do you have a representative for the applicant?
Taylor Nolan, 225 St. Blaise Court. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have.
I don't have any questions on this one myself. I think we covered it pretty well at the work session. I think the staff just has recommended denial because of our zoning ordinance. But I didn't have anything else. Anybody have any questions or concerns over it?
Roof question, it appears to be shingle roof?
I'm sorry, yes, sir.
Is that a shingled
It's
roof?
shingled roof.
I'll make a motion to approve with staff's condition of approval.
Second.
All right, well, I think Mr. Thompson got the second on that one. All those in favor of approval say aye. Aye. Any opposed? No? All right, passes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Item 10 is Resolution 2024-156, Athena Woods Spring Suites site plan.
The owner and applicant requests approval of a site plan for Athena Wood Spring Suites on a 3.69 plus minus acre lot, Zone CG Commercial General Zone District, located at 1447 Tuit Poplar Drive. This was the previous zoning that was split zoned. The city council approved the rezoning to completely zone this property commercial general in November. With that, staff has mostly minor comments. They do also, or the applicant also requests approval of an alternate architecture plan. Staff recommends approval of that with, and the site plan itself with 22 conditions.
All right, thanks, Jim. Do we have a representative for the applicant?
Hello, Scott McFarland with Arnold Consulting Engineering, and I'll be representing Athena. We reviewed the conditions of approval, and we don't have any issues. We plan on addressing what Jim said and
Yep.
what other questions you might have.
I don't have any question. I will say I really do appreciate when we have the work sessions and people come back and take what we're asking for and get it back to us. This is a much improved building. I think it's going to look really good over there. So, all right, a motion to approve. I'll second it. Any other questions, debate? All right, with that, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say no. All right, passes unanimously. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Item 11 is the Crossings at Hidden Creek, Resolution 2024-183, amended preliminary master development plan.
Yes, the applicant is requesting approval of an amended PMDP for the crossings at Hidden Creek, Amendment Number 2. This is on roughly 120 acres on a recently approved development with 2 phases. This amendment will affect Phase 2, which is on the top of your screen. They're requesting a couple minor changes. 3 stacked flat buildings that you see on the east side of Phase 2 will be converted to 20 alley-loaded townhome units versus the 72 approved stacked flats. Some minor changes to layout of the existing townhome units result in 1 additional townhome within Phase 2. The rear parking lots for the stacked flats will be removed and replaced with an alley. Additional on-street parking will be provided in front of the townhome units. All townhomes in Phase 2 will shift to the east for a buffer yard accommodation, and the total unit count will decrease from 596 units to 545 units. Staff did recommend this as a minor amendment, since it is a decrease in density with only minor site changes throughout. And staff did recommend approval with no conditions. Thank you.
Thank you. And before we hear from the applicant, this item has a public comment, so I will open public comment on Resolution 2024-183. Anyone wishing to speak, this is your time to come up. All right, seeing no one wishing to speak, I'm going to close the public comment and ask for a representative of the applicant.
Hello, this is Caleb Baker with Gamble Design Collaborative representing Randy Hoffman.
I think, there's no conditions of approval on this one? I will say, and I think that's the first time I've ever seen that. That's great. I think this is good. I mean, it's hard to argue with reducing density and
increasing parking, right?
increasing parking, so I don't know why we would have any problems with that one, so.
Motion to approve.
I'll make a motion. that
We
it
had
be
a motion to approve the minor
Yeah,
amendment.
could have minor, yeah, so we got a motion from Mr. Pereira that'd be a minor amendment. Do I have a second?
Second.
And second, Mr. Thompson. I agree it should be a minor amendment, so I'll call for the vote. All those in favor of being a minor amendment, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? No. All right, it'll be a minor amendment. Now I'll entertain a motion for.
I'll move.
All right, Mr. Carter's got a motion, and was that a second, Howard? All right, Mr. Strother for his second. All those in favor of approval, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Say no. All right, passes unanimously. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
All right. Item 12 is Resolution 2024-184, Walnut Crest Townhomes Amenity Center, revised final master development plan.
Good evening, Commissioners. Brad Hickman, Staff Planner. The owner and applicant request the City of Gallatin to accept a revised final master development plan for the Walnut Crest Townhomes Amenity Center on a portion of 31.10 plus or minus acre lot located north of Long Hollow Pike and west of Walnut Crest Drive. Staff had mostly minor comments around labels and notes on the plans. It submits some nice color elevations for this residential looking amenity center. And Planning Department recommends approval with 8 conditions.
All right, thank you. Do you have a representative for the applicant?
Joshua Colson, SEC Site Engineering Consultants.
All right, you guys had a chance to review the conditions of approval? Are you good with everything?
Yes, we have.
Okay. This is about as straightforward as I think you can get. Does anybody have any questions for the applicant or for staff? I mean, it's a good-looking building. It's inside the middle of it, so I'll make a motion to approve with staff's 8 conditions. And a second by Mr. Strauber. Any debate, any questions? All right.
I thought,
Go ahead.
just For clarification, I thought this had 15 conditions.
That's the next item. No?
I'm missing it? Sorry.
12?
Sorry.
Yep. Yeah, the conditions are all, land notes, pretty minor stuff.
Well. All right, never mind.
All right, well, I'll go, seeing no other debate, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor of approval, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, passes unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 13 is Resolution 2024-182, Union Park Duplex, Final Master Development Plan.
Good evening, Commissioners. Charlie Pieri, Staff Planner. The owner and applicant requests approval of the City of Gallatin to accept the final master development plan for a duplex on .135 plus or minus acres, zoned as R6 high density residential, located south of Pemberton Street and west of Union Park. So since the work session meeting, the applicant made a minor adjustment to the FMDP, and with that being the size of the building overall. If you guys can recall, 2 weeks ago, we were looking at asking for a variance on the side setbacks because of that 10-foot opposite of the common wall. Pointer's not working. They've shrunk the size of the building so that the structure is basically in compliance now, with the exception of the top left corner, which I believe is 6 inches encroaching into that setback. This FMDP will also need to have approval of alternative architecture because it does not meet the 70% brickstone requirement. As you can see on the rendering here, that the architecture pretty much matches what is on that street as well. And with that being said, a Planning Department recommends approval of Resolution 2024-182 with 15 conditions.
All right, thank you, sir. Do we have a representative for the applicant?
Evening, Commissioner. This is Jeff Nesbitt with Tips and Properties, owner of Union Park.
All right, thanks. I appreciate you working on it and getting it as close as you could. Like I said, I think at the work session, 6 inches, I don't personally have a problem with.
I believe it's actually like 1/10, so like an inch and a half.
Oh.
It's 9.9
Even
feet.
better.
Also.
Even better.
It's very close.
Very close. And then have you had a chance to read the 15 conditions of approval? You guys?
We have, and we do agree with the staff comments.
Okay. They've satisfied my one comment that I had, was getting it to fit inside the envelope. So, anyone else have any questions?
Questions? I'll motion to approve.
All right, got a motion by Mr. Thompson. Second by Councilman Carter. See no further debate on it. I'll call for the vote. All those in favor of approval with staff's conditions, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say no. All right, passes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your time.
Okay, item 14 is Resolution 2024-180, Twin Eagles Phase 15B, Section 2, Final Master Development Plan.
The owner and applicant request approval of a final master development plan for Twin Eagles Phase 15B, Section 2, for 24 single-family dwelling units, 1 public right-of-way, and 2 open space tracts on a portion of a 59.10 plus or minus acre parcel located north of Wildcat Run and east of Douglas Lane. The FMDP is just for the 24 homes. Let's see. Here along Maya Marie Drive, well, somewhere. Along Maya Marie Drive. The other homes along Dottie before the extension have already been approved in a previous section. And the homes further down towards Douglas Lane are not included with this FMDP. We have a condition of approval that requires removal of those lots. Engineering has also included conditions of approval clarifying the construction of Dottie Drive to Douglas Lane, and has included this as an exhibit as well. With that, staff recommends approval of the FMDP with Resolution 2024-180 with 16 conditions.
All right, thanks, Jim. And well, I'd ask for the representative, but he's already walking up.
Copies of that exhibit if you want it in your hands.
We beat you to it.
We're in agreement. I think that Randy and engineering are on the same page now with, so.
Okay, you're good. Okay.
Question?
Yeah, by all means, sir.
Oh, did you want to add anything, Andy? I just wanted to make sure I understand condition 10 really clear. If, would it be fair to say the understanding is that last line in there is that the Dottie Drive extension shall be constructed up to include completion of binder and curb?
That's what they,
That's how I understood it. I'm just
that's what they were trying to highlight with the exhibit there, that the binder and curb need to be done.
want to make sure that the wording was the way I understood it.
Okay. Well, I guess,
However, I would say that the curbing might not be a good idea. It's going to get tore all to heck, but
I guess this exhibit's not part of the package at this point, is it? Can we add that to the, is there a way just to add this to the project so it just goes with it in case anybody ever asks a question about it?
So other than the highlighted portion of it, that's actually, I think, on the last page of the FMDP.
Okay, so it's there.
But the highlights aren't there. That's the only thing that's not.
oh yeah, the detail is in
The details.
The details in the plan. Okay. So, well, John, I'm gonna make a stab at a motion. Tell me if it adds a little bit of clarity to it. So I'll make a motion to approve staff 16 conditions of approval, amending condition 10 to add after, it says constructed up to binder, just to add binder and the words and curb, just for clarity. So.
Yeah, I mean, I second that motion.
Okay.
I just want to make sure it didn't, sometime down the road, seem like it was prepare the base up to be prepared for binder. It's binder and curb. Is there any discussion about what Andy said about the curb getting torn up, or
I think my understanding is the what we're trying to get to is where it's basically the road's finished except for the top coat, is what my understanding is the engineering was trying to achieve, and that's what this does.
I like the way you, I seconded your motion, so.
I think that was the only real thing we had to debate on this one, so. Anybody else have any questions? We had a motion and a second, just with the slight change to condition 10. All right, so nobody is having questions about it. I'll call for the vote. All those in favor of approval with the 16 conditions as amended, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say no. All right, passes. Thanks, Andy. All right, that is the end of our regular agenda. So under other business, we've got the 2025 Planning Commission schedule, which I think
There was like one or two minor changes, so use this version and not the version you got 2 weeks ago. This is the final version.
Perfect. So everybody can plan their travel and events around, the important work we do here. I would say if as we go throughout the year, if you guys do have a conflict with the meeting, if you wouldn't mind just emailing staff or just letting them know, so we kind of know who's not going to be at a meeting, just so we can make sure we have quorums. But, Ryan, anything else under other business?
No further business other than we wish you a Merry Christmas as we head into that season.
Yeah, absolutely. Merry Christmas, everybody. With that, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Got a